Hey, how you doing, everybody? My name is 92 and today I welcome you guys back to my channel, and this is A Case of Distrust by Bennett Wander. Now, this is a game which I found on Game Joy, and this is the demo of this game. I don't know how long it is or how short it is, but I'm just gonna make a video on it. So, it's a mystery game, and I really love the art style of this game, and that's what firstly saw my attention to this game. I woke up in my desk chair. Across from me were his piercing amber eyes. They surprised me at first, but I should have known he's been there. I stretched and said, "Million, not very nice to sneak into a sleeping woman's apartment." So I'm a woman. I mean, my character is woman, but his stares just continues. I laughed at his glare. I cursed the open window. Oh, I got choices. I think I will laugh at his glare because, why not? I've seen San Francisco's shrewd ducks, hardened cops, and deadly politicians, but none could ever match their gaze. I knew I didn't have what he wanted. Reaching into my coat, I took out my knife and flicked it open. Did I mention we were a detective in this game who was solving a case? Let me check if I'm recording. Yes, I am. So I don't know what to do now. It really jumped me into the game. I don't know the story of this game, so I think I will give him I held the knife straight earlier. That's not. Why would I give him the knife? Look, I said, nodding towards the desk. That's all there is. Take it or leave it. But a detective knows when she's big. And I knew then he wanted to search the place, and that's what he that's what he would do. I sighed, knowing my weakness for his type. Alright, I said, let's look. Oh, that's so beautiful. He let out a gleeful meow. It was a cat? God damn it. In victory, I got a piece of my apple that the cat had rejected. Always the sore winner. I jabbed, but I was smiling too, because I was telling the truth. There was absolutely no other food in my apartment. There was absolutely no other food in my apartment. I thought it was a person who was seeing me. Okay, so I think we get into the game. Was this? I didn't read what was that. I had taken copies of my own murder cases from the SFDP records when I did left. I loved reading through them, even though my contribution were minimal. At that time, I longed for those types of jobs. The truth was, any work was hard to find for a female detective. That's main dominance for you right there. Yes. The land that belonged to my uncle Liu. He said he'd been an SFD officer. I was just gonna say FPD officer, a policeman. Let's say that he was an officer, one who argued policewomen could be good detectives, while the others jeered at me. I knew he had been right, but my current workload didn't hold that calm. I thought about Louis. I tried not to. I think let's not think about him right now. I tried not to think about Louis. I was lousy at handling the emotions behind those thoughts. What's this? I kept a small statue underneath the side table. It had been police evidence in a crime, and its owner hadn't wanted it back. I took a shine to it, so I snagged it for myself on my way out of the department. Sweet cat. I think that was the same thing. I don't know, but you would know. The cat had waltzed into my apartment a few years earlier. He kept coming back, though there was rarely a morsel to eat. He continued his loud meowing until I proved to him the place was empty of food. Let's talk to the cat. It doesn't matter how doe-eyed you are, cutie pie, you got no food around. You got no food around, I told him. He licked his chops and looked at me. Apparently he still didn't believe that. I needed to contradict him somehow, to show him something in the apartment that would prove it contradict. So this is my first case, to show the cat there is no food. Oh, that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. Ah. The newspaper was flopped on the floor. Its headline about the death of Lenin, leader of the Red Menace, sweeping Russia. It seems the Bolsheviks had lost their heads. Alright. An old notebook now filled to the brim. I wrote everything down, even the minor details. Never know what could be useful. The first had my old cases. Let's see this. The first half had my old cases, details about from the beats I used to walk in my policewoman days. Of course, the women were forbidden from going on patrol, but Lewis often overlooked that rule. Alrighty then. What's this? The regular. That's what I'm saying. Water. The regular white ice box, stained yellow with age, half blocked the kitchen doorway. My income really kept much stock in it. Right now it was empty. Alright then. There's something else I can do now. Can I think about Lois? I don't think so. I really don't know how this game would work out. It's been already like what, 7 minutes I've been playing this game. And this game looks really interesting to me somehow. Alright, let me contradict you. Show the cat there's no food. Used to contradict. So you won't stop until I asked him. He let out sorry for that. He let out a loud meow in response. Well, alright, I signed. I had to show him that there was no food. Contradict. Let's show him the empty ice box. So this is like a tutorial. I don't know how big this game is. Then came back to me. Sorry fellas, there's no gulp in there for me either. He stared at me with eyes as disappointed as I felt, but it was big yellow, always got to my soul. The thought of my family filled my head. Your sister? I mean my sister, my parents, but never mind. I want to say never mind, but let's go with my parents. My parents were still in Chicago, where they would move our family in my final years of schooling. I returned to California, but they maintained that there were better job prospects for my father in Chicago. Oh my god, this is a big story. This alcoholism has cost him his job and nearly his life. He attempted to clean start many times, but even the Volstead Act couldn't to pry open the grip that Green had on him. My mother stuck by him, my sister refused. God, my damn! There's still much reading, I hate reading! My mother stuck by him, whether for her godliness or her stubbornness, I never knew. I always thought her berating only chased him to the speakiness. That's even a word, I don't know. But it was the only way she would know to love him. Most of the money came from my late grandmother's trust, but those funds were barely a tickle. I often dreamed of saving enough to help them. My mind spiraled into the usual series of questions I had, and even impacted the women's movement. Had I made any change on society at all? Was my plodding career worth losing traditional happiness? Was there any point in life I'd be choosing? Okay, shut up, cat! What are you doing, cat?
One eternity later.
A loud meow from the cat snagged my thoughts back into the moment. I took a deep breath and grinned back at him. Guess you can swim now, I said. Nobody's going to keep knocking with food for you, fella. And that's how the cat left. Okay.